Hi again, I'm Veronica Isles. This was previously a live show only for Inner Circle members, but I had an issue with my mailing list program. So it didn't send out the invites. So I was all set and ready to go, and I really wanted to do a live coaching show. So I decided to make it available to everyone. So hopefully people start to show up soon because with me just live streaming otherwise. I haven't done it in a while. So bear with me. People are here. Okay, good. It's working this time. I do want to mention that in the future, all live coaching shows will in fact be available to Inner Circle members only. So this is just an exception because I had some technical issues today. So if you haven't already joined the Inner Circle, link is below. Elizabeth Milliman, welcome. Ivan, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I do want to give another quick shout out that self-love personal coaching from me is the enrollment is ending tomorrow, and Attract Constant Communication will not be available for enrollment after midnight tonight. So catch those links below. My free course too is available, studywithveronica.com. Okay, so now that we have people here, it's actually working. The other live show I was on for about 6 minutes, and I realized that my email server never actually sent out the invitations. So I don't know what to do about that. Okay, but I will start taking questions because this is all about you getting personal help from me helping you with your particular situation, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. No questions are off limits. I'm here to help, and I hope to help as many people as possible today. If after this video you would like to do some one-on-one coaching with me, I have reopened that up. I don't know for exactly for how much longer that will be available. So dreamlifebyveronica.com, the place to go. Okay, so who has a question? Lover, Rouge Queen, thank you for being here. Elizabeth Villeman again. I'm so glad that I can inspire you. I want to mention that I just got back from Japan. That's not something I could have said 20 years ago before I knew about conscious manifestation. So things have definitely changed in my life. I hope that my videos can inspire you to, in fact, create that change in your life, whether or not it is money, success, popularity, love, whatever it is you want, it is possible. And it is, the universe, the creative intelligence within you is ready and waiting. It is waiting for your command, what you dwell upon all day long, what you think you're worth. When unwanted circumstances show up in your life, don't turn a blind eye to them. Don't pretend like they're not happening. Learn from them, grow from them, because unwanted circumstances will in fact fade away when we learn the knowledge that they're trying to teach us. Okay, we've got some questions. I'm going to take it from Magical Fluid Process. That is an interesting name. Can you explain how I can focus on what I want and let it go, as it seems to me to be a contradiction? Yes, this is definitely confusing when it sounds like you literally have to let go of something. Letting go isn't about not focusing on what you want. Letting go has to do with how you focus on what you want. So an example of letting go combined with deliberate manifestation, because the only way to really successfully deliberately manifest anything is through combining it with the letting go process. And this sounds really weird because it sounds like, well, if I've let it go, it means I don't want it anymore. It means I don't think about it anymore, but it's not this at all. When we let something go, or rather when we let go, it's a really poor choice of words. I prefer like detachment. I don't know, a lot of these terms need to be updated because letting go it sounds too confusing. It sounds, again, in contradiction. So when we focus on something, it's how we focus on it. So when I began to focus on the better life for me, being able to be loved by my ideal person, being able to have money, to have the kinds of experiences that I wanted. So it was about me sort of daydreaming upon these things. You can specifically visualize them. You could even make a vision board. You could say affirmations. But the most important part is when this idea of this particular thing you want to manifest comes to mind, how you envision yourself with it, sort of the freedom attached to it. Refusing to let go would mean that your happiness was dependent upon it. So it would be like if you weren't letting go, it would be like you were only happy while imagining this thing, or you were only happy while saying affirmations about this thing, or you were only happy while visualizing this thing. And the rest of the time, it just sucked. And your life was going to suck until you got this manifestation. That would be refusing to let go, or that would be being very, very, very attached. So letting go means I prefer this, I want this, I know it's possible for me, but my peace and my ability to feel abundance in this current moment is not limited by the fact that I do not have this manifestation. So when I started to imagine myself being able to have these higher and better experiences, I combined that with sort of falling in love with my current moment, with my current life, with everything that I had in my current life that was good. So yes, it didn't, my current life didn't include trips, luxury trips to Japan. It didn't include that. But that didn't mean that my life was awful. It meant that those experiences were coming. And that's okay to say it's coming. Like you hear these things that you're supposed to convince yourself that it's happening right now. But again, that feels really, really delusional. And it creates sort of a chaotic feeling inside. When you're manifesting properly, you never want to feel chaos inside. You always want to feel ease. You always want to feel peace, um, at one with just the good life. So manifestation isn't necessarily always focusing on the specific things you want, but more so a general overall feeling of abundance, of ease, of flow, of love. And those are the types of things I experienced while placing sort of the intention that I wanted to be loved by my ideal partner. I wanted enough money to own my own home. I wanted my own car. I wanted a new car. I had never had a new car before in my life. I wanted better things in life. And we're always going to be identifying things we want. But letting go means that your emotions of happiness and gratitude and feeling you're living your best life is not dependent on having these things. So if you can implement that process, do whatever techniques work for you, whatever techniques make you feel better, and that will be the answer. Okay, let's take another question. Does the universe choose the right timing for me to receive it? It's been over a year now. I have had things that I've manifested that have taken a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of months, and yes, a couple of years. The timing is one of those mysterious things. I don't believe the universe is an entity, is sort of uh, a figure, like a figure watching over you. I mean, it is sort of a protective, but it's sort of you. It's like an aspect of you. So I don't like to think of the universe as someone like an entity that is picking and choosing. And I think that there's a lot of unknowns in this, and that we shouldn't have it all figured out. Like if we had it all figured out right now, life would be really boring. If we knew exactly when something was coming, like it would lose all of its luster, it would lose all of its shine, it would lose all of its excitement. Like the whole point of a surprise is that you don't know when it's coming. So if we knew when it was coming, and you always want to feel like it's a guarantee, but there's always that element of unknown, and that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it feel like a miracle. That's what makes it, wonderful. That's what makes it something that we live for and something that we yearn for. Like we wouldn't yearn for it if it was like this amount of days. You get it? Like it would, then we just want something else that we didn't know when we were going to get. Like the fact we don't have something has a lot to do with why we want something. Once we have it, then we just pick something new that we want. But I think if you've been trying to manifest something for over a year, you definitely should continually embrace new and change. Because I think the universe is swift. Like, I think the manifestation process is swift. Now, why things took a couple of years for me to manifest, like, I don't know. All I know is that when it did happen, it was perfect, and it'll feel perfect for you. And maybe there's a reason why it took a year. Maybe it's about to unfold. Maybe it's about to manifest. Like, we don't know. But the excitement within that is the not knowing. But definitely keep checking yourself. Like, is there anything new or different, like a new rhythm that I can embrace, a new way that I can feel more free about this, less needy about it? Because a lot of times things don't come into our lives because we're desperate for it. And that's just a general example, but that's one of the biggest reasons why things don't unfold. But another reason is it could be, is there a part of you that maybe really doesn't want it? Or is there a part of you that's attached to the current moment and afraid of the change? Is there a way that you can sort of break free from your usual routine? Maybe you've done too many affirmations or too many visualizations. Maybe you just need to sit back and allow it to happen. I mean, these are just basic troubleshooting ideas, but they're definitely something to start from. But if something has taken, in your opinion, a while, and a year is sort of a long time. I mean, I wouldn't say after a couple of days to do this, but I think after a considerable amount of time, you might want to reassess these things. Like, for example, am I desperate for it? Am I too attached? Is there a way that I can detach further? Is there a part of me that doesn't really want it? Is there a part of me that's very comfortable with how things are right now, even though they're not better? Am I too familiar with this identity? Do I need to do self concept work? I think if you could just sort of break the routine, let go a little bit more in terms of not wondering where it is, you may find something comes through immediately. Um, let's see. Let's take another question. I still grapple with feeling like it's easier to be alone, but I want a manifested love. So can you speak on that? How do I convince myself it's not better to be alone? Well, I think that if you have the idea that it's better to be alone, it's because people have let you down before in the past. So, yes, it's easier to be alone when sort of being together with someone would be together with someone in a way that is problems and people disappointing you and frustrating you and causing you to feel pain and anguish. Like, of course, in that situation, it's better to be alone. But I think if you're trying to manifest, true love, your perfect match, and your perfect match is, you sort of feeling 100% in love with yourself to meet this person halfway. So you're not sort of depending on them to complete parts within you, complete sort of a hole within you or a broken part within you. So you're sort of coming to this relationship in a way that you're bringing your best self forth, or at least you're trying to. You're at least aware of it, mindful of it, and you're you're trying to manifest someone to be your perfect equal. So it isn't that they're going to bring you disharmony. It isn't that they're going to bring you trouble. It isn't that they're going to frustrate you or cause you to be disappointed. So I think that you can hold those high standards, that the love that you manifest now isn't going to be anything like the people that let you down in the past. Otherwise, you don't want to have anything to do with it. So you're not a vibrational match to anything but perfection, anything but true love that is going to inspire you, that is going to make you feel like you want to be with a partner. And I think that another way to help break through on this is that, well, you could say, I'll manifest this person, and if I don't end up liking it, I can just end the relationship. Like, it doesn't have to be permanent. I think that that can help a lot of people, actually, because a lot of times we hold ourselves back from the realization of a manifestation because we think it's forever. We think we're stuck with it forever. Like, we wanted this and we set intentions for it, and then we get it, and then we have to have it, even if we decide we end up not liking it. So you do have the freedom to, if you manifest someone and it's not really, I mean, even if it's good, it's just not the right person, you can manifest someone else. Like, nothing is permanent. But just keep in mind that you're trying to manifest something different from the people that have let you down. It's different. It's not the same, and you have higher standards now, and that's all that you'll accept. So of course it's going to be better. Okay. What if you can feel energy changes? You feel positive and you're grateful, but in reality, everything is still the same. Not necessarily about a relationship, but just in general. Well, I think it's your dedication to wanting to feel grateful and positive. Like, grateful and positive is a better way of existing with yourself. So it really doesn't matter. Like that's kind of the thing that really clicked for me because when I started this manifestation journey, nothing changed. Immediately, nothing changed. Um, like the only thing that changed was that I started looking at the world through new and different eyes. I started feeling better when I woke up in the morning. I started feeling better throughout the day. I started loving myself more. I started embracing my current relationships, all of my connections. I started embracing my routine. I started looking at things differently and thus feeling differently inside. And so it was worth it to me to continue, even though nothing had changed, even though circumstances were still there, even though I was only still making $50 a week, even though these things were still happening, even though I was still driving an old car, even though I was still living in a basement, even though all of these things were still happening, I felt better inside. I felt different. I felt optimism. I felt momentum. And if you can do it for you, again, that's part of the letting go process because it means I'm doing this for me because I want to feel better for me. I am with me all the time. You're the only person that is with you 24/7. So I'm with me all of the time. I want to feel better for me. And then things change when you're not even paying attention. And they change so subtly that it almost feels like they would have changed all along. But I really think for me and anyone else that has completely turned their life around, you know, from night and day, night to day, is that the right way to say it? Anyone that has completely turned their situations around knows that yes, it feels almost like it was going to happen that way already. But I really think had I stayed stuck and had I stayed sort of in a pessimistic attitude, embracing sort of the feelings of a victim, having being stuck in my circumstances, I don't think they would have changed for the better. I think I would have still been living in that basement, and I don't think I would have been talking to you. I don't think so. Um, have we gotten stuck? I don't see any new questions coming through. Can anyone hear me? Well, it seems to be recording, and I don't see anything on the chat button anymore. I'm gonna say hello. Um, hmm, did I lose connection? No one can respond to me. I wonder if I do have to end the session. Oh wait, someone's there. Thank you. Okay, I'm still live. I don't even know. I'm using an old computer because all of my new computers won't plug in this webcam because they all have those C ports. They don't have the other ports, and so I have to use an old computer. Did you get married yet? Not yet. Not yet, no. But I'm enjoying the engagement. I'm getting married in a very special place, and there's lots of planning involved. And I have been all consumed with cat rescue. And I am so excited about my cat rescue. I've saved 18 lives so far and many more to go. And that has been monopolizing all of my time, that and travel. Luckily, I have a wonderful pet sitter that takes care of my cats, my fosters, my own cats, my colony cats. She's a saint. She takes care of a lot of cats. But my whole mission is to get them all fixed so they can stop producing kittens. I mean, there were like 40 kittens this season so far, and I wasn't able to rescue them all. I don't know what's happened to them all. But I am lucky I was able to rescue those I have, 2 adults, and I'm doing what I can. And if anyone else is involved in animal rescue, they know how time consuming it is. Okay. I know I'm a successful manifester, but my husband seems to be a block in a lot of my manifestations coming to full fruition, although he doesn't mean to. How can I stop this from happening? This is an interesting question because a lot of times we form this association to certain people that they are in fact dragging us down, blocking us, like as if they were different, we would somehow be able to succeed in a different way because they're holding us back. They are like a thorn in our side. They are preventing us from feeling good during the day. They're bringing us down. I don't know if your husband is doing any of those things, but this is what I sort of was inspired to gravitate towards. I want to say that no one in your life has the true power to take away your the creative wisdom within you. Like the creative wisdom within you is all you. There's no one that can mess with that. No one that can tarnish it, no one that can take it away. Um, he isn't necessarily blocking you from receiving. Um, I don't know if he's causing, like, if it's the relationship with him that you're trying to fix or other things. Can't really tell from the question. But I do want to say that, and I think this question can also apply to anyone who feels that they have a block, that they have something that's holding them back from reaching full potential. Again, nothing is really standing in your way. This sort of fixation of an idea that someone is standing in your way, or a blockage is standing in your way, or this limiting belief is so ingrained in your consciousness that it's standing in my way. We want to break free from all of that. In fact, you could even imagine tearing down a wall with your hands and clawing it down and freeing yourself from this burden. You want to feel freedom, expansion in your mind and heart, sort of an openness in your heart, feeling that anything is possible. Try to put your husband aside right now. Any frustrations he's causing you, or anything that he's doing to kind of hinder your progress. Let's kind of set that aside for now. Allow the universe to fix that and feel more of an expansion within your mind and heart, more meditating, more doing things for you, being bold and taking new action for you. And I think that that can help you break through in maybe ways that you aren't right now. But the fact you know you're a successful manifester, I mean, that's definitely good. Here's a question for everyone. Can you hear me okay? My sound levels seem to be low, and I have fans going because it's a very old computer. Let's see. He's just sort of a negative person, and I can feel that that could be a block. See, that's interesting. I'm glad you responded. Because negativity in and of itself really isn't like a hindrance. You hear a lot of weird advice that manifestation, law of attraction, law of assumption. It's all about implementing positive thoughts and replacing all of the negative ones. You can't have the negative ones. Negative ones are insights. His negativity may be an insight on things that you need to heal or things that you need to work on. So the next time you see negativity in your life, even if it's an intrusive negative thought, instead of saying, "Oh my God, I can't have that. It's ruining my manifestation." Just take a pause, take an honest look at what it's trying to tell you, and just take a deep breath and try to understand it, or try to just dismiss it, or try to have it not be so important. Like, if we could stop placing so much importance on the idea of shunning away negativity, you'll find there's less negativity in your life because you're no longer giving it power. It doesn't need power. Like, negativity is not powerful. I think it's even a scientific fact that it's at such a low frequency. And like, it really doesn't have power over you. So I think just kind of doing your own thing, putting him aside, feeling that, whatever frustrations he's causing you, that's not permanent. It's not going to last forever. Maybe he suddenly has an inspiration to be a better version of himself. That could happen. Can you talk more about affirming healthy relationships with healthy clients that are financially abundant? I would say, let's see, okay, so you want to attract clients that can pay you. The way that I would reframe this is not necessarily in affirming that these types of people exist, because they do. Like, people have money. There's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of people ready to pay you. But I think it really stems from your idea of self. So do you feel that the services that you have to offer, that someone will love them, that someone will beg to pay for them, that someone will need and value these things in your life? I think if you can work on self-concept work of identifying yourself in this way, which, yes, you could do through, affirmation work. I wouldn't suggest to just do affirmations, and I wouldn't suggest to try to do affirmations to drown out the limiting beliefs that come up. I would try to identify the limiting beliefs you have about yourself. Try to comfort yourself through those moments. Those things really aren't true about you. Like, whatever it is you're trying to sell, whatever it is you're trying to offer, like, there's a reason why you feel passionate to present this to the world. And there are plenty of people who are more than willing to pay for it, and to pay even more than whatever you're asking. So I would try to dig deep on mindfulness about how you see yourself, And yes, you can implement some positive affirmations. I would try some what if affirmations, like what if I really was this wonderful and this special? And I would sort of go from there. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, I can hear you, but I had to log off and then on to finally hear you. I don't know what that means. Oh, I have at least someone addressed my sound question. If I do, when I hear this replay, if the sound is really bad, I will get a microphone. I appreciate you all being here. And again, this was supposed to be an invite only um, thing, but my email server just was not working. So it ended up being sort of a general free for all. I'm having a hard time sending a message. Let me try again. That one I don't know. So that feels like a YouTube issue. That one doesn't feel like something I can fix. I want to allow my inner being to guide me to the things that are ideal for me. Trust that it's all in my vortex, but I get impatient and tend to micromanage and assign meaning to circumstance. We do tend to fixate on the circumstances and we want to have it all figured out. Like the analytical part of our minds wants to understand how we get from here to there and wants sort of that guarantee and that assurity. But the way manifestation works best is sort of embracing the unknown. I mean, I think that it's good that you want sort of your higher self to guide you because your higher self is ready and willing to do it. If you want to validate the existence of your higher self, ask it to find the location of something that's missing or ask it a question. It will literally always give you the answer. Like just validate it's there because it is there. Like say, find this for me, or do something like that. Just ask it for information and it will pull it up almost immediately. But I think that I would try to deal with that impatient part of you. I think you're probably only getting impatient because sort of that fear inside of you that everything is going to stay the same. It's never going to change. It's never going to get better. It's always going to stay exactly how it is. But you can kind of disprove that by looking at your life a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Even look at your life, compare year to year when you didn't even know about manifestation, and you'll see changes, you'll see differences. Life is in constant motion and constant change. We can't help that. Like it's gonna change. Circumstances are gonna change on their own, whether or not you try to deliberately manifest it or not, like things are gonna change. So, sort of this impatience, yes, it would be great to have everything now, but even if you had all the things you wanted now, like you just pick new things. So there's always going to be something to be impatient about. So the more perspective that you can have on the manifesting process, that we're here to manifest. We're here to identify lack and see it fulfilled. That's why we're here. So try manifesting smaller things. Try building confidence within that. When you assign meaning to circumstances, try to assign productive meaning to circumstances. For example, circumstances are trying to teach me something, they're trying to help me grow in some way. Like, don't resent circumstances. Yes, they're frustrating. Yes, they're unwanted, but what are things that I can learn from them? What is knowledge that I can take with me in order to grow? How can I see this as not something that's trying to torment me, but something that's trying to teach me and uplift me? What is the silver lining within that? If we can reshape how we think about circumstances, they will float away. I promise you. All right, let's grab a new question. Does a good self concept help manifest more quickly? A good self concept will get you anything. In fact, manifestation work should just be self concept work because it's really all it's needed. I don't know why self concept isn't the number one thing people do. Like, why is affirmations the number one thing people do? And why does it say there's going to be an ad that's going to run shortly? I don't know if anyone else got that message. I don't know. That's YouTube. I didn't do it. Um, so I'm not really sure why self-concept is so sort of like thrown aside. Same thing with letting go. Like people just want to like put it aside. Like this part isn't important. And I really think the reason why that happens is because your ego tries to be so swift and tries to be so sort of tricky. It likes to kind of disguise itself as helping you. So I really think it's your ego that is like, self-concept work. Well, I'll do it, but it's not that important. Let's do affirmations instead. I really think that that's ego because ego likes easy. And I think it's really, really easy to just recite affirmations over and over again. But like digging deep into self-concept work and understanding how much you think about yourself and what you feel about yourself, like that's a lot more in depth. That is a lot more it takes a lot more effort, and the ego doesn't really like effort. The ego just kind of likes to stay in mediocrity. But if you can raise your self concept by default, you will manifest everything you ever wanted and more, and you will just be on this kind of steady stream of getting more, more, more. And because you'll just naturally align with these things, because if you can feel you're worth it, that's what self-concept work is, then why wouldn't the perfect partner appear? Why wouldn't relationships mend and heal? Why wouldn't you have more money? Why wouldn't you be successful in everything you did? Like maybe that's kind of a exaggerated version of it, but self-concept work really can be like your best day every day. And it doesn't mean challenges won't come up because again, we always need to see contrasts in order to understand why things are so special. So don't think that once you have a perfect self-concept that you'll never encounter a challenge, but if you have a high self-concept, then a challenge won't feel like the end of the world. It will never control you. It will never put you in misery. You'll learn the knowledge and then you'll gain from it and the challenge will dissipate. Is everyone still with me or did they get an ad played? I don't know. I didn't get an ad played. It just said an ad was going to run for some viewers. Oh, somebody's here. Okay, I have a friend that insists that I have a date or have a boyfriend. It's so upsetting to me that I feel it causes resistance in actually manifesting a relationship. How to remedy this? Well, again, this person can't cause resistance for you, can't hinder your manifestation process. Instead of seeing it as frustrating that this person is insisting this for you, they obviously care. Like this friend wants you to have a date, wants you to be loved by someone, wants you to have a boyfriend. Like, look at it as the fact you have a friend that cares, a friend that, wants good things for you. So that isn't necessarily a bad thing. So if you can look at it from the perspective of, wow, this person, they love me. They care about me. They want me to have a perfect companion. But I would just be upfront with them, just say, I appreciate your input and I appreciate your assistance, but I want to do this my own way. And I want sort of the respect to be able to do that. And it's fine to kind of stand up for yourself like that. Like that's not going to push away your friend. You're totally allowed to say that. And you should. Maybe this is a perfect opportunity for you to kind of stick up for yourself in a way that maybe you haven't before. Um, okay. Let's see. I've sent a question for 3 times, but you probably don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Email it to me. I'll do my best. If I feel that my SP is losing interest, is it possible to turn things around? How? Yes, of course. Are you interested in you? Do you see yourself as someone that's interesting? Or are you sort of waiting for him to validate that within you? What do you think about yourself? Are you able to have a happy day without him? Are you able to feel good about yourself without needing his validation? Usually people lose interest because we're smothering them, like you're needy for his validation. So of course he's not going to give it to you. Like, of course he's going to lose interest. Of course he's no longer going to find you desirable if you are kind of needing him to say that to you in order to feel that way. So how do you feel about yourself? Whenever we're dealing with relationships with other people, remember they're sort of mirroring what we feel about ourselves. Again, that self-concept work. So I would just kind of put this specific person aside for a moment. Decide how you feel about yourself. Decide how you want other people to see you. Just kind of put him, I don't know if it's a him, put this SP, maybe a her, I don't actually know. Put this person aside for the moment and just kind of do some inner work on how you feel about you and how you want other people to see you. All right, so another shout out that future shows will in fact be done. Inner Circle invites only. The mailing list was not working. I don't know if it was greatly delayed or if it just didn't work at all, if they were doing maintenance. I'm not really sure. I will look into that for future shows. We'll get it rolling. I'll check into any sound issues. Leave any comments below of things that you think I could have improved. But definitely get on the inner circle list so you can be invited to the next one. This is free coaching. If you do want my personal coaching, help you with your situation, help identify what you need to change in order to manifest, I do have self-love coaching available. It starts tomorrow, link below, as well as the Attract Constant Communications course. That is for attracting constant communication from any person, romantic, business, whatever you want. You want someone to blow up your phone, this course is for you. I do have phone calls. I recently opened those up as well. So dreamlifebyveronica.com. Studywithveronica.com is the free course. Don't miss that too. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. And may all of your dreams come true.